Okay, good evening. This is Air Gunner's Edge. Just had to delete a whole bunch of videos. I ran out of storage here. Okay, anyways, got the regulator all installed, so we're good there. So the air tube system is completely all done. I'm going to make this fast here. Pulled out the QE system. If anybody wants to know, this is how it goes back together. There's the cap, two diffusers, and these caps go into the barrel like this. So this is how the whole assembly goes. Okay, so I pulled off the QE system 14mm socket. I pulled out the barrel. The crown wasn't bad. I did clean it up a little bit. Let's see. I'm going to try to... It's not totally polished, but right in there, I wanted to make sure there was no sharp edges where a pellet would hit as it left the barrel. I might clean this up a little more. Couldn't really find my the compound, lapping compound I wanted, but it is pretty good. A pellet will not catch anything as it leaves the barrel. And this is honestly just to let air out, so, but polished would be more of my liking, so I can always do that after. Okay, as far as this, yeah, come on. I chamfered the outside hole. It has a little better breathing ability now. There is an O-ring inside. You have to be careful. I took a small file, and you have to be careful. And I don't know if I can get it. You can't really see it, but I cleaned up the hole inside. The air comes in through this way and pushes the pellet out. But you want the most free-flowing ability of the air as possible. So I did clean it up. I've done better jobs than this, but this gun was performing good. It'll just breathe a little better now, perform a little better. So, there we go. Okay, now, when I pulled this barrel out, and I did not do this, this is how it came out. If you see the O-rings, I should say, I got a nice gasher there, and all right here. So I will be changing the O-rings on this, probably done during installation. No big deal, I'll just change them. Okay, so just a quick overview of what I've done. Really, this is coming along better than I thought. Oh, I did, for the transfer port hole, I did not enlarge it, but I did measure it, and this was about 165. And the transfer port here was 150. That's pretty close. I could get it tighter. I could open this up to 160. Honestly, I'm not going to mess with it right now. So, and everything in here is pretty good. I'm going to take it apart anyways. I will just double check everything in here. I mean, this is really smooth though. I don't have an issue with this, but I will pull it out and just double check. This is your anti-knock for your hammer, so it doesn't waste air. I did read on GTA something about this on the Bull Boss, and I'm assuming this is the same way, that it wasn't working as good as it should be, and a lot of air was wasted. I'm just going to double check this, make sure everything is good. This does come right out. It's just very difficult with one hand. So, if there's any edges or sharp, yeah, this is why I usually have it hanging up. But I'm just going to double check it. Oh, you know what? See that right there? This is why I do need to go over everything. That's a nasty lip right here. So I'm going to knock that down. Past that is fine. It's just for some reason right here. Oh yeah, you can see that. So I'm going to clean all that up. I will disassemble this. I was going to anyways, but this just reassures me that I'm going to. Everything else on here is pretty good. So I'm getting really close to finishing this up and getting it back together. When, I don't know, maybe this weekend. Kids have sports and all that, so you know, life. So anyways, I just wanted to keep everyone updated on this. Any questions, just ask. Really, if you look on the internet, I'm not going to tell you how to do your crown. There are some videos on there, and you got to remember, anything you do to your barrel is permanent. If you are uncertain of what you're doing, don't do it, because I don't know if Hatsan USA can get you another barrel, but you don't also want to screw it up. You only have one barrel. So I'm just throwing that out there. Call it a disclaimer, I guess you could. So I ran, oh god, what, 15 patches through this, and I really didn't clean the barrel when I first got this gun. So I knew it was already refurbished, and usually there's not much grease or anything in there, but I should have cleaned it anyways. I did clean it after I did all the work. Blew it out with compressed air. What I usually just use, I don't use anything harsh or anything. I just use some Rem oil on some patches, about 5 or 8 of them, and then I just run clear patches through there. So I don't recommend anything for powder burners. That's more of a chemical. I mean, you can if you want, but I keep it simple. I run a nylon brush through, not brass or steel, obviously. So I ran a nylon brush through it a couple times, just to make sure all the grooves are cleaned out very well. Anyways, so that's where I'm at with this gun. I really cannot wait to get this back together, and I'm sure as soon as I get back together, we'll have a cold spell again, which it kind of is. It may be close to spring, but it's not spring yet. There are a few more things I do want to do with the trigger and the cocking mechanism here. I want to space that out, make it a little more snug. I still want to have a little room for play, but I'm a little finicky on that, and I just want it a little better. And as far as the trigger, I'm going to see if I can adjust that a little bit more, just so it's smoother. Alright, this is where I'm at now. I think that's about it until I start reassembling this, and then I'll let you guys know how everything goes. Get the hammer, everything all back in together. And okay, I think that's it for tonight. Sorry, not as detailed as before. Just kind of rushing around here. Not rushing, but running around. Lots of stuff to do. Okay, I got a couple other projects too, so I'm kind of taking up some bench space, and really just anxious to get this gun back together. But I don't want to rush either. Okay, on that note, I wish everyone good shooting and a good night.